And first of all, my name is Rob Truman. Appreciate you giving me some time to talk to you today. Hopefully, I will be able to give you something you don't already know, but that's yet to be seen. We're going to talk about cord cutting. It's a really popular subject right now. So first of all, let's talk about what it really is. It is nothing more than, it's a process of getting rid of your cable TV services in lieu of streaming your content using your internet connection. And that really is it in a nutshell. Most times what you're going to find is that people use their streaming services in conjunction with a over-the-air antenna and to kind of broaden their what they're receiving out, so they're enabled to basically so they can get their local channels, and then they can pick up anything else that, you know, any other type of content that they're interested in. Again, what is streaming? It's just nothing more than a TV that's connected to the internet, and doesn't even have to be a TV. It can be your tablet. I tell you, yeah, if you'd like, just to make things easier for everyone, I'm more than happy to send you copies of these slides. I think I have someone's email here. I have them in a PDF format, and that way someone can distribute them to all your members.
Hey, Rob,
Yes.
do you have a PowerPoint?
Yes, he's showing it, but here again, you just maximize the whole corner.
Left-hand corner.
Yeah.
It's this side.
Make it full screen.
What, this one here at the bottom? At the left bottom?
Now, click the upper right, upper left, upper right hand corner. Make it full screen.
Upper right-hand
So that
corner,
little block in
right here.
the- No,
No, left.
Left, upper or lower
the
left?
little block at the bottom,
Yeah,
left hand side.
The left.
Now move over to, there you go. Now make that full screen.
okay. What, I don't see 4 dots.
Square.
This thing up here?
There you go.
Oh, okay,
There we go.
Now move him off the side. There you go.
okay, we got it now.
All right, continue on.
Continue.
Okay. Essentially, what streaming allows you to do is, instead of going up and downloading a file, whether that's a video file, whatever it may be, what streaming does is it downloads that file in sections based on your bandwidth, based on your internet speed, and best case scenario is that it downloads enough for you to start watching that video along with the audio. And then as you're watching that, it's downloading the next section. And hopefully you have enough internet speed and bandwidth to where you don't get that little round thing going around saying, I am still loading. Yeah, there's various types of programming out there, and I've tried to classify this a little bit. Of course, you have your live type streaming services, sporting events, concerts, your news, so forth and so on. Then you have what's called linear. These are your scheduled broadcasts, typically traditional TV and cable channels. Then you have video on demand, Netflix, Amazon Prime. There's tons of them out there. And we have the new boy on the block is what's called AVOD, or ad-supported video on demand. In fact, from my latest information I hear is Netflix is looking at going and providing that as a subscription model to where you can still get the Netflix content, but it will contain ads and of course that will lower the price to their subscription. The majority of people who actually do a full cord cutting experience do not miss anything that they had previously. Now, this, of course, is a dated survey. It was done in 2019. So why would you do this? It's not always about saving money. And it starts out, I think, that way, but primarily, in my opinion, it's about having choices on how you spend your money. You can save money. One of the things you get out of this is greater portability. There's no contracts, no equipment fees, no hidden costs whatsoever. And in a lot of cases, there's no taxes. A lot of different devices you can use. You know, one device you're not going to see up here right now is a smart TV. But they are also streaming devices. These are just some of the different media players that you can get, whether it's Roku, Apple TV, Google TV, Amazon Fire. And when if you're using a device instead of, say, a smart TV, one of the advantages is that device can travel with you. So for those of you who may have dual residencies, then you can just unplug the device, take it with you, and basically have the same subscription services wherever you go. If you like to travel, there's nothing stopping you from taking this to your next hotel room, plugging it into the back of the hotel TV and connecting to the hotel Wi-Fi. And you're going to have pretty much all the content you would have sitting in your living room. Bottom line, you can use it at probably any location or with any TV that has an HDMI input. One of the things that I noticed when I started going through this a while back is I became less concerned about channels and more concerned about shows. Didn't really care where the show came from or who was providing it. I was more concerned about what I was watching than who was the actual source. This is a great little website. It's called justwatch.com. It's a free streaming guide. You can go up there and just type in whatever it is you want to watch. A TV show, it can be a movie, and it will tell you who is providing that, whether they're providing it for free, whether there's a rental fee to it. One of the things that most people, when they start down this road, end up looking at cable replacement services, which is nothing more than getting the same type of programming package via the internet that you would get from your local cable provider. I'm not sure about these prices on this screen. They were accurate a while back. They may have gone up, but I think they're pretty close, still pretty close right now. These are probably the primary providers. from everybody I talk to is most people seem to end up going with YouTube TV. It provides almost an identical viewing experience from the number of channels that you get on most cable packages. As you'll notice, all of these things have a free trial, and I encourage you to use them. And at YouTube, we'll talk a little bit more about the cloud DVR here down the road, and of course, you do get that included with YouTube TV. So, not sure what you currently would be paying, but for their YouTube's basic service, it's basically $65 a month. And from everybody I talk to, that's the savings. Then you have on-demand video. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with all of these services: Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO, of course, Crackle, YouTube, Vudu. One thing I will mention is that with YouTube TV, as well as with Amazon Prime, you can also subscribe to premium channels through them. So if you're just I just love HBO or Showtime, I can subscribe to that through my Amazon Prime account. If anybody has any questions, it's probably, we don't have that many people in this meeting, so I'm happy to go through it. Of course, there's music, and there are tons out there. My preference is YouTube music. You'll notice that it's a little bit higher priced than others, but the reason for that is I watch a lot of YouTube. Okay, I like the platform, and I end up doing a lot of research from the videos on there. And with their premium package, not only do you get all of their music services, but you also get rid of all the commercials on the YouTube videos side as well. So that to me is not to forget, which I will talk more in detail about. There's FreeGal, which is you would depend on your public library, but most public libraries provide this service, and you can get some free streaming from them. Cloud DVR. I'm sure most of you are probably familiar with DVR. It is nothing more than the ability to record shows. Cloud DVR is the same thing, except it stores the copy of that show up in the cloud, and that you can watch later. Again, YouTube TV really has, in my opinion, the best deal, because it's totally unlimited. You can record as much as your heart desires, and it is included with their services. It allows you to fast forward and rewind through commercials should you so desire. And when it says time limit, YouTube gives you 9 months to go back and watch that. And so after 9 months, it goes away. How many connections at the same time? For most groups that I talk to, this is not an issue. Okay. Because most of the senior households that I speak to, there's only 2 of them. And so, and all these services will more than handle 2 consecutive, streaming on TVs at the same time. So just, The key, on the other hand, but if you have a large family living with you, this may be a concern. So how to pick a streaming service. Cordcutting.com has a great website, and they put this chart out various times throughout the year, and it will give you the ability on a graph system where you can scroll down, find the cable channel that you just love, and it will tell you across, and then you go across and it will tell you what services offer that channel. And it can help you make a choice in weeding out the different services. Unlike previously, there is an unlimited number of options when it comes to sports these days. Okay. And these are some of the cable replacement services that provides a certain level of sport viewing. And of course, you still can always opt for the NBA pass, NFL pass, so forth and so on. If you love local sports, then you're going to get the best deal probably from a local antenna, and just watch the local channels. Public library, as I mentioned previously, most public libraries have some amazing services when it comes to online services. If you haven't looked into this, I really encourage your club to contact your library. I know the one here will actually comes and does a presentation to our group, on both an annual basis about the different services they offer. For instance, ours is through the county library system. These are two apps that you can get on your devices. You can check out movies, rent not download, but you can watch movies, stream music, get audiobooks, ebooks, whatever your heart desires. All you need is a library card in most cases. Now, most libraries will put a limit onto how many things you can check out in a 30-day time frame. Here, I believe it's 10, and each library is a little bit different. But I know our members here have really gotten a lot out of the presentations that the local library provides. Then we talk about local channels. Couple antenna facts. The signal you get over the air will be superior to your cable or satellite because one is just not compressed. There's no single compression. All major networks transmit signals free over the air. There are no longer just channels. There are now sub-channels. The sub-channel you might be, so you have the primary channel is channel 8. Then you have 4 sub-channels, 8.1, 8.2, so forth and so on. And all of those will have separate content on it. AntennaWeb.org is a great website for getting an idea of what your reception will look like. When you go to I think I have a slide here. Yeah, I do, but anyway, you just go there, you put in your zip code and hit enter, and it will show you where all your antennas are located, as well as what kind of reception you'll receive. And for those of you who have seen these ads, there is no such thing as a magic antenna, people. All right. Antenna signals are RF energy. They are line of sight. So there is no way that you're going to get 1,100 miles of a reception from an antenna. So beware, as we say, buyer beware out there. Average range on the best antennas would be 60 to 80 miles. This is the antenna website, .org. All you do is you enter in your zip code. Keep in mind, the results they provide you may or may not be identical to every household, depending on the materials the house is built from, any obstructions between you and the antenna. My dad used to have a great antenna. He'd just make me go up there and stand by it. I think I was also his remote control at that time. Antenna placement. There is no limit to where you can put the antenna, and it requires probably a lot of experimentation as you're setting this up. Let's see. Let me know if this plays.
All right, today we're going to show you how to take an ordinary paperclip and we're going to make a digital antenna out of it. Now, if you live pretty far away out of town, this may not work for you, but if you live pretty close to where you could at least pick up something, this should work. So you just bend it into sort of a, I don't know, something that looks about like that. It really, the shape doesn't matter. Then you take this and you put it in the back of your TV, and I'll show you. So we're going to do that now. So you come back here to where the coax connection is, which is that one right there. And then you just put this in place. Just like that. And then you come back to the front of the TV, and you can see we now have a picture. And depending on how you move your TV also will affect the signal, because now your TV is part of the antenna. So if you move it back and forth, you may find that in some areas you'll pick up different channels or something like that. It's just a small, cheap way to create a digital antenna. Good luck. Have fun watching TV.
So another thing you can do if you want to play with that is then if you're not getting any type of reception just off the paper clip, go into the kitchen, grab some aluminum foil, put it into a ball, and stick it on the end of that, and you'll probably increase your reception. And I show that movie just to, I guess, drive home the thing that there is no such thing as a high def antenna. There's only antennas. And so when you're out at Walmart or wherever your local big box store and you see these things that say high definition TV antenna, it's just marketing. Okay, you can stick a paper clip, a piece of wire in the back, it will work as an antenna. So add-ons and options. Pluto TV. It's a free TV service. It has over 100 channels that are available, and I'm going to probably guess that 99.9% of these channels you have never heard of. You know, and anything that you have heard of, you're probably not going to see on their service. It is free, it's ad supported, and it is live TV. If you have a Samsung TV, you probably have what's called Samsung TV. Similar service. In fact, it may be the same service, just branded with Samsung's name on it. As I mentioned earlier, Amazon Prime Video channels. You can subscribe to premium channels through your Amazon account. So some tips and tricks. My favorite. All of these have free trials. I highly recommend. In fact, I can't recommend any stronger. Take advantage of the free trials. If you're a big Netflix user, you can also search for Netflix using their genre codes. And what that will do is it will return everything within that genre that you're looking for. Let's talk a little bit about bundles, because that seems to be, of course, this is the telecommunications corporation's bread and butter. If I can get you to subscribe to a landline, your cell service, your TV service, the odds of you going somewhere else are greatly diminished. Of course, so the cons of that, now they do give you a better price. That understood. And everything's on one bill. But the downside of that is there are, of course, contract requirements, and it makes it harder to price compare. So how do you do it? First of all, before we get there, internet speed. You're going to notice that it doesn't take a lot of internet speed to stream. Now, I don't really care about 4K content. One, because with my eyesight, I probably couldn't tell the difference if you showed them both to me. But you'll see that there's not much here that you can still get high def content. And for YouTube TV, it's about 13 megabits per second. I'm going to guess that most of you have a 20 to 40 megabits per second internet connection at a bare minimum. Now, of course, multiple people in your house streaming video at the same time, then that requires higher speed. But speedtest.net is a great website to check your speed. And what I suggest you do, because what it's going to do is going to check your Wi-Fi under most circumstances. You can also check if it's hardwired, but most people don't have their TV hardwired to their router. So when you do the speed test, and you can do it on your phone, you can do it on a laptop, you can do it on a tablet, walk around your house, do the speed test in different locations, because you will get different results. And if you're paying for 40 megabits per second and you're getting 3, then it's probably time to call your internet provider. So, hooking it up. One way, if you got a smart TV, you just connect the smart TV to Wi-Fi and you're rocking and rolling. You can go out there and subscribe to whatever services you like. The other one, if you have a non-smart TV, you just use a streaming device and connect the streaming device to the Wi-Fi. Again, ready to go. And you can also use a streaming device on a smart TV should you so desire. And there are various reasons to do that. One is your streaming devices probably get updated with new channels and services a lot faster than your smart TV does. This is the easiest way to do it. If you just want to test this out and play with it, HDMI cable from a laptop to the back of your TV, and you can pretty much use your laptop as your streaming device, and you're ready to go. Excuse me. You can record video. And I'm not talking about a DVR. Okay. So from your computer, there are a lot of different screen capture software available. They don't really like it, you doing so. It's against the law at some level, but it can be done. Then you can screen mirror, which is literally nothing more than sending whatever the content you have on your mobile device, i.e. phone, tablet, laptop, to the TV. Keep in mind that all devices do not play well together. My advice, come up with a plan. Most importantly, don't rush into it. Analyze your current monthly costs. Find the content you just absolutely got to have. There is just, I can't live without. Check your internet speed. Choose what equipment you're going to use. Are you going to use a smart TV? Are you going to go with a streaming device? The other thing is only subscribe when you need it. So, it wouldn't make much sense for me to get NBA ticket or NBA Game Pass and keep paying for it throughout the year when there's no basketball games. Same thing with other streaming services. So there might be some good programming coming on HBO. Sign up for HBO. The most you're obligating yourself for is 30 days. There are no long-term contracts. Okay. So you sign up for 30 days, you watch whatever you want to watch, and then you cancel the account. Definitely use the free trials and promotions. And you don't have to do this all at once. You can say lower your current cable bill down to just getting local channels. And then subscribe to some video on demand services from there, or to YouTube TV from there, and kind of play with this until you get, as you move through this, you're going to get a lot more comfortable with it, and you're going to find different things that you like in this process. This is what I pay. Okay, now I don't subscribe to a cable channel replacement service because I don't really care about any of those. All right. Most of my stuff is just flat out direct streaming. My Netflix gets paid for because it's part of my T-Mobile plan. Then these are the other things that I pay for. Works out about $390, just shy of $400 a year. Again, on the I can send you these slides. You'll get all these resources. But the point here is do your homework, do your research, experiment, and I think you'll find this is a handout that I will also email to you guys that has a whole lot of links and different stuff on it when it comes to cord cutting. My website, you're more than welcome to go there at your leisure. You don't have to join it. You don't have to do anything. And it is literally, I just post tech articles up there on a weekly basis. And we are done, except for the questions.